Hi guys, I'm Sneha S from Sri Venkateshwara College of Engineering, studying in 4th SEM, Department of Cybersecurity. Today I'll be dealing with the topic of functions of a cell from biology for engineers. So let us begin. So our topic is functions of cell. We all know what is a cell. Cell is a structural and functional unit of any organism. So this cell, in order to survive or sustain, it performs many functions for the growth and development of an organism. So we all know that an organism is composed of cells. So whenever an organism grows, it means that cell is growing. So a cell performs major functions for the growth and development of an organism. So the first function is provide support and structure. So what is this? Let us see a cell. We all know that a cell is made up of cell membrane and a cell wall. So this cell membrane and cell wall are providing the support and structure to that particular cell. And when this cell as a group as a whole are providing support to the organism. All organisms are made up of cells that perform structural basis of all the organisms. The cell wall and the cell membrane are the main component that function to provide support and structure to the organism. For example, the skin is made up of a large number of cells, that is epithelium. And in plants, we can see xylem, which is present in the vascular plants. It is made up of cells that provide structural support, that is nothing but the mechanical support to the plants. The second function is they facilitate growth through mitosis. Mitosis is a cell type of cell division in which the parent cell divides into two daughter cells and the cells multiply and facilitate the growth in an organism. So how do you think the growth happens in a cell? So whenever we say that there is a growth in a cell, that basically means the cell is getting divided into daughter cells. That means one cell is getting divided into two. So first the nucleus breaks and the cytoplasm breaks and so on. The third one is it allows transport of substances. So there should be a movement of materials to be transported from one cell to another cell. This is also done by the cells. Various nutrients are imported by the cells to carry out various chemical processes going on inside the cells. So whenever a cell has to perform any function, it might be needing some chemicals in order to perform that function. So this will be transported by the cells, and the waste that is produced by the cells is eliminated from the cells by active and passive transports. Small molecules like oxygen, carbon dioxide, and ethanol diffuse across the cell membrane along with the concentration gradient. Means from the higher concentration to the lower concentration, they just move. This is known as passive transport. Larger molecules diffuse across the cell membrane through active transport, where the cells require a lot of energy to transport the substances. So in passive transport, the transportation of this movement of chemicals is easy, but in active transport, the cell needs some amount of energy in order to transport the substances. The next one is energy production. Cells. So we all have always heard about mitochondria, which is called the powerhouse of the cell. So it is inside a cell. So what it is ultimately doing, its main function is to produce energy. Cells require energy to carry out various chemical processes, and these cells only produce the energy as well. This energy is produced by the cells through a process called photosynthesis in plants and respiration in animals. In animals, energy is produced through a process of respiration. But whereas in plants, it's done by photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is a process by which plants prepare their food, and respiration is a process in which the animals consume the plant products or any animal products, and whatever they have consumed, that will be converted into ATP. ATP is nothing but adenosine triphosphate. Aids in reproduction. Aids means helps. When I told you about cell growth, we got to know that the cell is divided into two. So how is it helping in reproduction? It can done, this reproduction can be done by two processes. See, whenever a cell divides into two, in asexual reproduction, we can simply term that when one cell is getting divided into two, in asexual reproduction, it is nothing but daughter cells are produced. But in sexual reproduction, there will be a process of meiosis in which secondary cells will be divided, and genetically they'll be different from the parent cells. And now let us see how actually it happens. So in cell, there are two processes called mitosis and meiosis. Mitosis is termed as asexual reproduction, where the parent cell divides into daughter cells, and meiosis causes the daughter cells to be genetically different from the parent cells. When a potato plant, plant grows, obviously the child or the buds will be a potato itself. But whereas when we see in a human, the product will be human only, but they'll be very different from their parents. Metabolism. Metabolism includes all the chemical reactions that take place inside an organism to keep it alive. So how do you say a organism is alive? As long as metabolism is taking place in that particular person is alive. Or you can term it as any organism or plant. We'll see these were whatever the functions we saw now are the most important function. There are other functions as well. The first one is absorption, the transport of dissolved substances into cells. The second one is digestion, the breakdown of absorbed substances. And the respiration, we already saw that it's a breakdown of food molecules to release energy. And biosynthesis, it's a process by which living organisms produce larger molecules from smaller ones. Excretion is the removal of the waste. Ejection is the removal of non-soluble waste materials. See, whenever excretion happens, whenever digestion happens, our stomach or kidney or whatever it is, it tries extracting the most. It tries to all the extents that it can extract everything. But there will be some substances that will not be soluble, so they have to be removed from our body through rectum. The next one is secretion. The release of biosynthesized substances. The next is movement, the locomotion of a cell from one point to another, the locomotion of things within a cell. Locomotion here can be of two terms. That is, one is movement of a cell from one point to another, and movement of things inside a cell. Irritability, the ability to sense and respond to changes in the surroundings. Sometimes whenever ant bites, how will we able to respond to it? It is because of the reflex action that is produced by the cell. To be more specific, the nerve cell. And the last one is reproduction, which is nothing but growth and production of cells. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel.